Victoria Vetri is an actress arguably best known to the public for a small role she played in the classic horror film Rosemary's Baby. Around that time, she was also designated Playboy's Playmate of the Year. Many thought big things awaited her, but the Manson family murders of 1969 changed her life in a way that also spelled the end of her career. Join Facts First as we explore how Victoria Vetri's downward spiral ended with her in prison. Victoria Vetri was born in San Francisco, California on September 26, 1944. Her parents had been born and raised in Italy, with her mother from Rome and her father from Sicily. Upon her coming of age, she studied at Los Angeles City College with an emphasis on art. It was around this time Victoria decided she was interested in becoming a star, and her first role came via an uncredited part in the 1962 war comedy The Pigeon That Took Rome. Following this part, she could be seen in the TV series Going My Way, Cheyenne, and Hawaiian Eye. In all these series, Victoria was credited under the name Angela Dorian, which was a stage name she had come up with inspired by an Italian ocean liner called the SS Andrea Dorian. This ship infamously sunk in 1956, and Victoria's career would similarly sink after only a few years. Victoria was given another uncredited role in a film in 1963 in King of the Sun, and it was the first time Victoria was credited by her birth name. Still, she would continue to be credited as Angela Dorian for the most part over the ensuing years, with 1968's Rosemary's Baby being the last work where she was credited as such. She appeared on around a dozen notable TV shows in guest starring roles. Some of those included The Magical World of Disney, Bonanza, Hogan's Heroes, and Batman. Victoria's role in Rosemary's Baby wasn't a huge one, but it still brought the actress more serious attention than ever before. That same year, she was deemed Playboy's Playmate of the Year. She had first posed for the erotic publication in 1967, and her appearance saw her going by the stage name of Angela Dorian. Her Playboy shoots certainly made her popular amongst certain demographics, and she went on to become one of the more popular pinups of the Vietnam War. Victoria Vetri was friends with Sharon Tate. Victoria was cast in Rosemary's Baby in a fairly small role, but it was an important one. Victoria's character ends up killing herself early on, but not before sharing a memorable scene with lead actress Mia Farrow. Controversial filmmaker Roman Polanski directed the film, and it seems that Roman also took an interest in Victoria behind the scenes. They seem to have started socializing at some point around the time of production. Victoria also became close with Roman's wife at the time, actress Sharon Tate. Legend has it that Victoria, Roman, and Sharon would engage in threesomes together at the latter's California home. This was the same home that served as the location of some of the infamous Manson family murders in 1969. As a matter of fact, Victoria was supposed to be at their house the night that the party and her friends were killed by the Manson family. Not only that, but Victoria came to blame herself for her friend's death at the hands of the cult due to an incident that had occurred previously when Charles Manson came to visit Sharon Tate's home while Victoria was also visiting. A short time before the murders, Manson came to visit the home that Polanski and Sharon Tate were living in. Charles believed that a notable music producer was occupying the home, and he was coming to the house to solicit the producer with demo tapes. It ended up being Sharon that answered the door, and both she and Charles were taken by surprise. Victoria was hanging out with Sharon at the time. When Victoria caught a peek of the unexpected guest, she remarked how strange he looked. Victoria later came to believe that Charles Manson had heard her derogatory remark, and she blames the incident for the murders. After Victoria's Playboy fame, as well as her appearance in the classic horror film Rosemary's Baby, it appeared as if the actress had nowhere to go but up. But the murder of her close friends altered her life in a way that prevented her from pursuing Hollywood fame. Before we tell you more about that, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Victoria Vetri only had one lead role in a film. After Rosemary's Baby, Victoria could be seen in a handful of guest-starring TV roles in the 60s before appearing in a notable role in the 1970 film When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. This could have proven a big break for her, as it was her first leading role, but by the time of the film's release, she was in dire straits mentally. The Manson family murders happened in 1969, not long after the release of Rosemary's Baby. When the murders occurred and it was announced that Sharon Tate and her unborn child had been murdered, Victoria immediately blamed herself on account of the derogatory remarks she'd made about Manson. Not only did guilt eat away at her, but so did fear. As it turns out, she was supposed to be there the night her friends were murdered. Following the cult's arrest, Victoria continued to fear retribution from them in the same way. Apparently, the actress was fearful that Charles might use his connections to arrange for her to be murdered while he was within the confines of his cell. If Victoria's career showed promise at the start of the 70s, the paranoia that overcame her made it so Victoria was no longer capable of giving her all to her acting jobs. In fact, some say Victoria was essentially house-ridden out of fear. She had a few notable roles in the 70s, following her lead role in When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. One was in the TV series Mission Impossible. Though she's still alive today at age 77, her last credited acting role was 1975. Her paranoia lasted for decades. In the decades following Victoria Vetri's retirement, not much was heard from the star until around 2010. She came back into the headlines once again, though not for a great reason. It turns out that Victoria had shot her then-husband in the chest, and it seems her reason for doing so was because she believed he was Charles Manson. While Charles Manson had been behind bars for many decades, it seems the actress never let go of her fear of the man and his cult. Victoria has been married twice over the course of her life, and the husband who got shot in the chest was second husband Bruce Rathbeg. The two got married in 1985 and divorced sometime after the 2010 shooting incident. Bruce is a rock musician. Though he truly believed Victoria had become delusional and thought he was Charles Manson, the pair did have other issues in their decades-long marriage that were not directly related to the Manson family's crime. For one thing, Victoria thought Bruce was cheating on her with groupies during his live performances. For another thing, she had grown insecure about her looks. Rathbeg thankfully survived the shooting incident, though their marriage came to an end as a result. Victoria was charged with the crime of attempted voluntary manslaughter and pled guilty. She went to prison and was released in 2019. Nowadays, it seems she's let go of some of her fears regarding the Manson family. Of course, Manson is no longer alive, and it stands to reason that none of the surviving former members would be interested in seeking out retribution against the actress. She seems to have recovered. Though Victoria Vetri hasn't returned to the screen since 1975, she's made some notable appearances at horror conventions since being released from prison. It seems the actress may be ready to get back out in the spotlight, though the former star's memory apparently leaves a significant amount to be desired. Now it's time to hear from you. Which part of this story was most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.